Welcome to episode 49, known as the de-extinction. Let me do that one again. De-extinction. That's actually kind of hard to say. Episode.
De-extinction.
Yeah.
It's kind of tricky.
De-extinction. Yeah. All right. I'm really starting over now.
Okay.
Welcome to episode 49, known as the de-extinction episode. De-extinction because to humanity, the phrase let it go is for cowards and losers. You know, Mikey, the goal of de-extinction is to restore a certain balance to nature.
I'm all about that.
Clearly, nature has been begging for more 12-foot murder birds.
Dinosaurs?
That's part of the problem.
Well, I was like, 12-foot murder birds, like dinosaurs? Like, I feel like birds are ancestors of dinosaurs.
Well, yeah. And maybe we'll cover that in today's episode, Mikey.
Yeah, I don't know shit about this episode.
Hey, everybody, I'm Robin Hohweiler, or Mr. Robin to you. And as always, I'm here with my fabulous weird science researcher, friend, the future reigning queen of resurrecting dead animals as exotic meat.
Yes.
Mikel Mauree Robinson.
Finally one that's kind of true.
Also known as Mikey-on-the-Mic. Say hello to our dodo bird eating audience, Mikey.
Well, hello, dodo bird eating audience. I like to say that, dodo bird.
This is episode 49 of Mr. Robin's Hood podcast, and we're coming to you digitally from the altogether too secretive Studio X in an undisclosed location that shall remain, well, undisclosed. Somewhere
we have to tell you, we have to kill you.
Somewhere in the altogether weird confines of Woodward, Oklahoma.
So it won't be too hard to figure out.
All righty. Buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into the wild world of de-extinction, a trend that's gone as viral as a cat video shot in a room full of laser pointers.
You know, I have a cat that doesn't give a shit about a laser pointer, but I had a dog that was all about the laser pointer.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
I've never even tried that.
You click it. He'd hear the click, he knew. He'd be like, oh, shit.
Here it comes. Yeah. Picture this. A Texas-based genetic engineering company, Colossal Biosciences, recently hollered from the rooftops that they've successfully given birth to not one, not two, but 3 dire wolf pups last October. Yep, you heard it right, folks. They played Jurassic Park with a 13,000-year-old tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull, sprinkling in some modern gray wolf DNA for good measure, kind of like a genetic smoothie. Voila, dire wolf puppies. Now, when I caught wind of this news, Mikey, I nearly fell out of my chair with excitement.
I'm sure you did.
But hold your howls.
Okay.
Because not everyone's ready to don their party hats. Critics are yapping that these aren't purebred ancient wolves, but more like the canine version of a Frankenstein smoothie.
Ooh, oh my gosh, a Frankenwolf. Why'd they name it the dire wolf? It should be the Frankenwolf.
And who knows if these furry little wonders will end up starring in the next big sitcom or causing a ruckus at the neighborhood barbecue. That's more likely. Only time will tell, my friends. Only time will tell. We're going to look first at an article published online by thedailymail.com on April 8th. The writer was Ellen LaPointe. And before we get into this, I just wanted to, and I'm not going to read the entire article because it goes on for...
Oh, it's pretty long.
It's pretty
But to hit the highlights.
I'm going to hit some of the highlights. I got to tell you, I really and truly have an issue with this because I'm in that camp that says these aren't dire wolves that they're, resurrecting from ancient whatever.
They're a Frankenwolf.
Well, they really and truly are.
Like made with all sorts of different pieces.
They get little snippets of dire wolf DNA that they're, cashing in on or finding in like fossils and that whatever. But they're dropping it they're sequencing it into gray wolves, which are modern gray wolves. And they claim that the gray wolves are the closest relatives and all that. No, it's a hybrid. This is by no means anything like Jurassic Park. Because as I recall from that movie, they took a piece of DNA and they grew it in a lab until it became the actual beast. So the big thing here that they're the only thing that so far that I've seen that actually resembles the original dire wolves from what we know about them is they're completely white. It's all white fur. And I have to admit, there were 3 of those pups. And I'll mention their names, Remus, Romulus, and Khaleesi. And they are the cutest damn things you'll ever see in your life.
I bet they are.
But
until they rip your face off.
Yeah, well, there is that.
When they grow up.
So this company down in Texas, Colossal Biosciences.
Everything's bigger in Texas, even the de-extinction.
There you go. Also plans to de-extinct the woolly mammoth, the dodo bird, and the Tasmanian tiger. So to de-extinct, I still have trouble saying that word. To de-extinct a species, colossal scientists extract the extinct species DNA from fossils or museum specimens, reassemble its full genetic code or genome, and then compare it to the genome of their closest living relative to pick out the differences. And we're not going to get too deep into that science, but
that seems real deep, like a 10-foot pool.
Or tarp.
That's really not that deep.
Then I think the key to take away from that is that they compare it to the genome of the closest living relative to pick out the difference.
So what would be the closest living relative to the dodo bird?
They mention it. I can't remember. We're going to have to stumble onto that. Yeah.
Okay. Carry on. Sorry.
But no, and you have to keep in mind, for instance, that these dire wolves have been extinct for almost 13,000 years. And the company says their claim is because everybody's saying, so why are you doing this? And the smart answer would simply have been because we can.
Right. Because we wanna.
But they're trying to claim that it's good for the nature of things to bring these animals back, and it will help reverse, I don't know, some wrongdoings by this whole thing is just it's friggin' hocus pocus.
Hocus pocus with dodo birds.
Yeah. So one of their claims is that by de-extincting the woolly mammoth, for example, they could combat global warming by restoring Arctic grassland ecosystems. Bullshit. But
what are your grounds for the bullshit? Well, I don't know that I know enough about it to
for instance,
to call bullshit at this moment.
Here's an expert, and this guy is named Nitik Sekar, who says, I'd argue that the broader effect to de-extinct the mammoth is, as far as conservation efforts go, incredibly misguided. And he went on to say, ultimately, Colossal's efforts won't end up being about helping wild elephants or saving the climate. They'll be about creating creatures for human spectacle with insufficient attention to the costs and opportunity costs to humans and animal life.
So they're saying you bring these back.
There's nothing good.
Even if it was to help the Arctic grassland ecosystem, it could do more harm to other animals and humans.
Potentially.
Than it would do good.
Potentially. And even Colossal...
Is it worth the risk? Well, you got a shit in one hand and whatever in the other one. What do you do? Pray in the other one? I can't remember that saying. And then which one fills up first?
Yeah.
That's what I feel.
Hopefully you're going to dump the shit out of your hand before you start praying. I'm just saying.
Well, you're shitting in one hand and you're praying in the other or something.
So we've kind of gone from dire wolves. We're jumping in full feet into the woolly mammoths, and said that they pointed out that these ancient giants haven't roamed the earth for roughly 4,000 years.
So why do you want to bring it back?
But he says this fellow named Lamb, who owns Colossal Biosciences, says that...
I was either going to say he owns woolly mammoth.
He will, actually. He has said he is positive the first woolly mammoth calves will be born in the next few years, 2028.
Wild. See, I'm down to give anything a shot. I would be okay with little Jurassic Park action in this world. I mean, it's kind of happening in a different way anyway, so why not bring the true heroes back, the woolly mammoth, so they can go stomp the control machine.
Well, here's where it gets a little weird, if it's not already.
I was going to say, where it gets, this is already weird. They're talking about, bringing back, animals that have been extinct for roughly 4,000 years.
Yeah. So they have already sequenced a mammoth genome and found a way to produce elephant stem cells capable of giving rise to several different cell types. That's 2 important steps towards resurrecting the mammoth. In March...
Oh, I saw this.
In March, Colossal scientists managed to create woolly mice by modifying mouse DNA to express 2 mammoth traits, long bushy hair and fat that help them survive in the cold.
And they're really cute little woolly little mice.
I have not seen them.
Oh, let me show you the picture. That I did see, because I was like, whoa, hairy mice.
Well, and this is the interesting part. For whatever reason, the closest relative they have for the woolly mammoths are mice.
Isn't that cute?
It's a long-haired rat.
Okay. Hold on. See, there's comparing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a fuzzy rat.
It's cute. I don't want to hold it.
You're a freak.
I am definitely that. And I love animals, and so,
I know. So, surprisingly, they're planning to use Asian elephants as the surrogates. And surprisingly, this species is more closely related to woolly mammoths than African elephants. They share about 95% of the genetic code with the extinct giants.
Mice do?
No, the Asian elephants.
Oh, the Asian elephant.
They'll use the surrogate.
Oh, the one that's a surrogate. My bad.
But somewhere in here, I think that they're using the mouse DNA because they decided that it was very close to the mammoth too. That's in here somewhere. I'll find it. And then we jump then to dodo birds. This ancient 50-pound flightless bird once thrived on the island of Mauritius. The species was first documented by Dutch sailors around the year 1600. By 1681, they were wiped off the map. The dodo bird was pushed to extinction by deforestation, overhunting, and the destruction of their nests by animals that the Dutch brought to the island. Now, Colossal wants to bring them back using dodo DNA preserved in museum specimens. Though the company has not set a target date for the bird's return, it has made progress towards this goal in recent years. University of California at Santa Cruz where she worked prior to joining Colossal. This woman named Shapiro, seemed to have a first name on her. They were able to reassemble the extinct bird's genome. And that was an important first step towards de-extincting the dodo. But colossal scientists still need to engineer genetic diversity into the genome so that they don't produce just a population of clones. And they'll need to clear that hurdle before the company can begin birthing dodos. But they point out that gestating the birds will be much quicker and easier than it is for large mammals, such as the dire wolf or woolly mammoth, because the dodo DNA is self-contained in an egg. The extinct bird's closest living relative, the Nicobar pigeon, will gestate and lay these eggs. So there was your answer.
Okay. The Nicobar pigeon. Well, Brett actually showed me a picture, and they are a pretty bird. They're like blue and all sorts of these bright colors.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The dodo or the Nicobar pigeon?
Nicobar pigeon. Does not look like a pigeon that we know.
Oh, okay.
Not that.
So then we jump to the Tasmanian tiger, which is another target for Colossal.
Oh, but it only went extinct 89 years ago.
Yeah.
It hasn't been as...
Well, and they seem to think that there's actually somebody found one. But I saw that go past me one day in a news feed, and I've never seen it again. So I don't know if that was...
Maybe it was just fake news.
Could be. Lord knows the world's full of fake news.
Yeah, dang.
So the Tasmanian tiger, this coyote-like animal, once roamed the mainland of Australia as well as the islands of Tasmania and New Guinea, with approximately 5,000 thriving in Tasmania alone. Ultimately, the species disappeared due to overhunting, habitat destruction, and the introduction of invasive competing species to their lands. The last one died in captivity in 1936. Because the Tasmanian tiger was featured in many museums around the world, colossal scientists have a lot of DNA specimens to work with. And they've already sequenced the full Tasmanian tiger genome. They did that back in 2017. Since then, they've compared its genome to that of its closest living this was the one. Of its closest living relative, a mouse-sized marsupial called the Dunnart. I knew I'd seen that.
Yeah, those are cute little boogers. They like hop around on their little kangaroo-like feet. Have you ever seen one?
Sounds like a gerbil, maybe?
Kinda, yeah. It looks similar. Hold on, I'm gonna look one up real quick. And they are little, but yeah. So that's the closest DNA specimen, huh?
Yep. But there's more work to be done before the species can be de-extinct. And then let's see. And people were asking the CEO and founder of Colossal Biosciences what the hell he thinks he's going to do with these, and is it safe? And they point out that introducing any species into the wild is risky. And this guy Lamb says that even his scientists can't be 100% sure what will happen when mammoths return.
Oh.
So the article goes on. They ask him, how do you de-extinct a woolly mammoth? And his response, I don't get it. I like to think that what we're doing, like reverse Jurassic Park. In the classic film, scientists bring back dinosaurs by recovering ancient DNA frozen within amber before using genes taken from frogs to patch the holes in the dino DNA. But unlike those fictional scientists, the researchers at Colossal Biosciences are actually working backwards. Lamb said, we're not taking mammoth DNA and plugging it in the holes. We're trying to engineer the lost genes from mammoths into Asian elephants. Asian elephants share 95% of their genome with woolly mammoths and are actually more closely related to these extinct giants than they are to African elephants. The scientists are hoping to take these artificial embryos and insert them into Asian elephants to raise them to term, eventually giving birth to a living woolly mammoth.
Can you imagine that Asian elephant mom and she gives birth to one of these and she's like, oh, what are you?
I don't know what the gestation period for an elephant is. It's like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the dodo birds will be easily, because the gestation period's not as far on that.
Yeah, and you'll be butchering dodo birds in your backyard
before you know it. Yeah.
Selling them off.
Yep, that's why they went extinct in the first place. People like Mikey-on-the-Mic.
There you go.
No, I'm not ruthless like that. Long pause.
So, when kind of pressed on the 2028...
so 3 years from now, they're going to... So they better be putting those embryos in those Asian elephants like tomorrow.
It says they've already sequenced a mammoth genome and found a way to produce pluripotent elephant stem cells. All that remains is the gene editing process to add the targeted mammoth genes into elephant DNA. But he went on to tell the reporter that the woolly mammoth might not be the first creature to be brought back from extinction. The company is also attempting to bring back the dodo, which was driven to extinction in the 1600s, as well as the Tasmanian tiger. And since Tasmanian tigers and dodos have much shorter gestation periods, their path back from the brink might be considerably quicker. He won't say which of the extinct creatures will be the first to return, but adds, I don't know if Mammoth will be the first project to be completed. It's funny, he said. People sometimes ask, what are you going to do when you get to the end and you birth a mammoth? But we're just in the prelude. We're not even at chapter 1 yet. The work starts once we have them. Our goal in true success is creating genetically diverse, interbreedable herds that can build sustainable populations in the world. So they're going to make all these woolly mammoths and I guess turn them out over by Fargo. That's what I hear.
That would be something. It'd be like, come to Oklahoma where you can see a woolly mammoth in the flesh, in the woolly flesh.
We don't have no stinking hairy rats. We
have the big thing. I mean, we did have mammoths at one point, so it would be only natural that they come back, right?
Yeah.
To this neck of the woods.
And every time that the reporter would ask him, how can you be sure this is safe?
I know, he always diverts it. He's like, well, we don't know for sure.
Yeah, it's
blah,
like
blah, blah.
No one is genuinely concerned that rampaging mammoths and dodos are going to start attacking tourists. But that doesn't mean the Colossal Biosciences projects are risk-free.
Who is funding this?
Oh, somewhere in here. And
Did it talk about that? Like,
yeah.
How do they have the money to do this Bologna?
The company is currently funded at $1.7 billion and has raised another $50 million to start the Colossal Foundation dedicated to supporting conservation. So what he's trying to do is put lipstick on a pig,
well,
so to speak.
And when we talk conservation, I feel like it's conserving what we already have, not bringing back the, stuff that didn't make it.
I mean,
it's like, okay, you failed, so let's give you another chance. And somehow that's conserving.
Yeah, no.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
It seems very not conservative.
I don't know. It just seems like flawed logic to me.
Or that's probably a better way to put it. Flawed logic.
But
this is going to help conservation efforts.
And, I'll acknowledge you and I aren't bioscientists.
No,
and,
that's true.
We're just stupid podcasters. But, yeah, this just makes no sense.
Calling the bioscientific scientists out on our silly little podcast. I hope that they do it though. You know what I mean? I know that sounds jacked up, but I want to see this. I want to see this happen now.
A woolly mammoth.
And more, I want to see a dodo bird. But yeah, and the Tasmanian tiger. Now I'm invested.
Okay.
Now I just want to see them.
Let's see. Oh, and he's also pushing the fact that they'll be able to, because he says, faced with ongoing threats to biodiversity, Mr. Lamb says he believes humanity needs a de-extinction toolkit. He says species preservation is a systemic problem. It's no different to software, and kind of like software, you need to back up all the species.
What weird. I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
I feel like when I think about the de-extinction, I'm like, why don't we focus on making sure the ones that are here aren't going extinct, like the bees?
Well, it's interesting. Oh, well, I don't know. They don't talk about bees. They do talk about the northern white rhino. Says the company is already trying to use the techniques developed on woolly mammoths to preserve the northern white rhino, of which only 2 individuals remain.
There's only 2 white rhino?
I guess. Daily Mail wouldn't lie to us.
Oh.
That's where I get my news feed.
Yes.
Mr. Lamb believes that the company could create a self-sustaining breeding population of white rhinos using nothing more than the few remaining genetic samples. He concludes, I don't think Jurassic Park had the right conservation perspective. This isn't about preserving genetics. It's about preserving it in a way that you can leverage to increase genetic diversity. So, this guy he's got his story down. I'll give him that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
he's putting kind of a conservation spin on it
which just doesn't make sense to me, because I even just Googled conservation, and this is its definition, right?
Right.
Refers to the protection and careful management of natural resources. The woolly mammoth is not a natural resource anymore. It's not here to conserve. It already had its time, and it could make it happen. Anyhow, including land, water, minerals, wildlife, and forests to ensure their continued availability for future generations. Their continued availability. Oh, woolly mammoths are gone, man. Dodo birds are gone, man. The Tasmanian tiger is gone, man. Like, let's talk about the bees. Let's talk more about these little white rhinos. I bet they're cute. Rhinos are kind of mean, but I bet a white one's cute, even if it's mean. And let's make some more of those little white rhinos, and then figure out why they're going extinct. Why there's only 2 left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's not bring any more bullshit over that doesn't belong here.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, you heard the whole thing about wolves in Yellowstone, right?
Yeah.
That whole debacle, and they put them back in there, like not having that piece of that ecosystem almost wrecked it.
Yeah.
And then they put them back, and it was like amazing what had happened. I mean, it affected everything. So it's like, it's the same when you're bringing, something that doesn't belong in, and you're just like, well, here, you live here now.
Yeah. Because it over time, without the dire wolves or the woolly mammoths, nature has adapted.
It has adapted, yep.
So you throw that back in there, trying to essentially resurrect an ecosystem that hasn't existed for a long time.
A long time.
You're gonna wind up screwing something up.
And you're spending $1.7 billion on this. Well, I think we should spend $1.7 billion on saving the white rhino. I'm gonna start a Facebook page. Help me save the northern white rhino.
I only need $1.7 billion.
And one for the bees and all the other stuff that's, on its way out. Heck, even I think like even the orcas are kind of in like that, getting kind of sparse, getting kind of scurvy,
Okay.
And I can't see that happen. I'm gonna go build me a little houseboat out in the ocean where the orcas are, and I'll be like, don't touch my orca, and I'll be like trying to protect them from all the bad, and they'll just live under my little houseboat, and I'm being completely unrealistic right now.
Bring me a salmon, please.
I'm like, I don't know how to protect the orcas, really, I guess. But I was thinking kind of like a building that would be being torn down if you like sat there in front of it. You have to go through me first, that kind of thing. That was my vision with the orcas. Like, you're gonna have to go through me first.
I got you. I'm
gonna go kick down the doors at SeaWorld. Free my orcas.
Okay, then. So, we hope you folks conveniently listen at home or in your cars enjoyed that. If you have any questions for either Mikey or myself about today's episode or any other darn thing, you can email us at mr.robin@mrrobinshood.com or Mikey@mrrobinshood.com. Also, you can find us on Facebook at Mr. Robin's Hood Podcast. As always, you can reach out to Mikey or me via Podophone at 580-827-0472. Maybe you just want to get something off your chest, or you're feeling some butt pain because of something we said during the podcast, give us a call. Unless of course, you're some nut really into eating resurrected animal meat, in which case you should contact Mikey directly, since she's the expert on that and can take your order for dodo burger.
I was thinking dodo soup, but whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fried dodo?
Oh, fried dodo. Dodo sandwiches, dodo rice, dodo kebabs.
Dodo fricassee?
Dodo yogurt. Oh, that's getting weird.
Okay. Text us if you, that could solve the egg crisis.
Oh, dodo eggs.
Dodo eggs. Those, they got to be huge.
They gotta
These are 50-pound birds.
Yeah, so it's like a emu egg, kind of like an egg that serves 8.
There you go. Text us if you have a question, concern, complaint, compliment, suggestion, whatever. Just don't be a dick about it. And in the meantime, tell all your friends to listen to this podcast as though their lives depend upon it. As always, you can downstream.
You
can downstream a load. You can, as always, you can stream or download episodes of Mr. Robin's Hood Podcast wherever you usually find that sort of nonsense. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, the Podbean app, Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Listen Notes, and Podchaser. You can also stream them directly from our Podbean website at mrrobinshoodpodcast.podbean.com.
And it's free.
Free. Like the dodo will be. So we'll close now by reminding everyone, as we always do,
to stay hungry, stay foolish, and most importantly, stay weird.
You DNA slinging freaks.
Bye.